Alright, what is up everybody? We are on ICC and I thought about, we are going to play a 15-minute game. I think I've been uploading quite a bit of bullet, so maybe a more serious game could be nice. Alright, so my opponent rated 1824. If you watch Chess Explained videos, you are probably aware that the 15-minute pool is not so popular, but yeah. It's so you occasionally get lower rated people. All right, so let's see how we do. Um, my opponent was opening up with Nimzo-Indian, but I'm playing G3 hoping to get a Catalan or something along those lines, which I quite often play. Okay, Bishop E7 seems sort of a passive setup to me. All right, so just castle. Okay, well, this looks pretty nice. I got my center going. Alright, and then e4, I guess. Just getting a complete center going. Alright. e5, okay. So, how am I reacting to that? One idea is of course, d5, but do I really want to close it up so quickly? Okay. Um, anything better than d5? I could consider taking, but I don't think that leads to a whole lot. Okay. What else? There's always knight h4 to f5 ideas to consider. I don't think it's working out here. Rook e1 is an idea. But okay, let's just play d5. Advancing in the center. Okay, so he has the idea now of c5 or taking on d5. Or he can just keep the tension, of course, and play something like knight b6. Okay. Alright, so he's taking on d5. So, taking with the c-pawn probably. Yeah. Alright, so, got a pretty decent space advantage in the center. Maybe h3 and bishop e3 could be an idea. h3 to stop any bishop g4, knight g4 ideas. Sorry about being a bit snoozy. I kind of just woke up, more or less. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So he's attacking my e-pawn. So, can I just defend it with queen e2? Or is there something better? There's also the idea of knight d2, which actually doesn't seem so bad. It looks a bit strange, but going to c4 at some point, and also with the idea of meeting bishop g4 with either f3 or queen c2. Yeah, I'm actually rather liking this idea. Knight d3 though. I got to consider that, of course. Okay. Knight d3 just knight d3 just looks like it's helping me develop. Knight d3, queen e2, and he takes on c1. I take with the rook. So yeah, let's just take, not take. Let's play knight d2. All right, and at some point knight c4. Okay. So who is this guy anyway? Oops. Okay. Played a couple hundred 15-minute games. Sorry about the window. Yeah, that happens quite a bit. Okay, so what can we consider here? Bishop g4 looks pretty logical in a way, but I think I'll just play f3 more than likely. Okay, he's going for f5. Yeah. So b4, is this an idea? Just trying to kick the knight out. And then b4 and then knight b3 maybe. It's another idea. There's also f4 myself, but yeah, I don't know about that. Knight b3 is also an idea to try to exchange the knight, which is probably black's best piece at the moment. Okay, lots of ideas here. I'm actually not very worried about f5. Maybe not as much as I should be. Okay. b4 looks really tempting for some reason, just kicking the knight away. But what's my follow-up? b4, knight d3, queen e2. This looks pretty good. b4, knight d7, knight c4. I can always meet f5 with f4 even. And with my knight on c4... Okay, let's play b4. This looks pretty good. Alright, so knight d7. I'm going to play knight c4 more than likely. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Knight a6 is an idea, but then I could play either a3, and his knight's sort of stranded on the side of the board. Knight d3, queen e2. I really don't mind him taking on c1, of course, because then he's sort of helping me develop. He's moved this knight quite a bit just to exchange on c1. Alright, knight a6. a3 does look best, maybe. Knight a6, what about b5? Does me pushing the pawn really help me? I don't think it does, because it just gives away the c5 square again. Okay. Interesting stuff, though. What's he going to play? Knight d7 is what I'm expecting. And then maybe I can consider f4. I don't know. Interesting stuff for sure. Knight d7, f4. One idea is queen b6 check, of course, which is why I'm hesitant. Queen b6 would pick up the b4 pawn. So, okay, knight d7, maybe I really should flick in knight c4. Okay, so he's going for this, so it all doesn't matter. Alright, queen e2, what's the follow-up? Yeah, right, just queen e2. So, yeah, I really don't mind him exchanging on c1. It's almost helping my development. He's exchanging a piece that has moved quite a bit for a piece of mine that hasn't even developed. Oh, b4's hanging. Oh, wow. Oh, man. What is this? Nonsense. Ah. Okay. Wow. That's not good. Okay. Wow. What am I doing? Okay, that's not good. Let's play, okay, well, it's not so bad, right? I'm getting a little compensation here, right? Am I imagining it? A little pressure on the b-pawn, maybe? It's not the end of the world. Of course, I completely blundered that. Here, let me get another sip of that caffeine. Alright. That's some good caffeine right there. Not Mountain Dew this time, though. Pepsi, yeah. Oh man, I need to stop recording once I need to stop recording right after I wake up, right? You know, I sound all dreary and stuff. Okay. This doesn't look so bad though, really. I mean, I'm a bit optimistic. He's still moving this knight quite a bit. I don't know. How is he defending the knight? A5 really weakens the B5 square. I mean, look at his pieces. You know, the E8 knight, the bishop on E7. He's sort of underdeveloped a bit. Yeah. I think this is okay, really. If I could get in something like bishop A3 and then rook F C1, something along those lines looks pretty good. Of course, there's always F4 to consider. What if he plays queen B6? I have A3. Okay. And now with my rook on B1, I don't have to worry about any queen B6 ideas. Yeah, this looks pretty good actually. I'm kind of optimistic. Yeah. It's not a good idea though to willingly blunder a pawn and just completely miss it. It's sort of lucky if I'm getting any compensation here. But okay, let's continue on. A5, yeah, okay, but isn't B5 really weakened now? All right, interesting. I could play maybe even knight B3 could be an idea. Or maybe not. Okay. Bishop A3. I have to be worried. I was actually thinking he might consider knight C2 to D4. Yeah. Maybe just knight C4, covering C2 and getting my knight a bit more active. Knight C4 with the idea of something like bishop E3, trying to get onto these dark squares looks pretty good. Alright, am I missing anything? Knight C4, F5. I could play F3 even. Alright, let's just move. Yeah. Okay. And I always have A3 now as a backup idea. Alright. A3. See, in the Banco Gambit, when you are gambiting pawns, quite often when white tries to hold on to it with like A4, then B4 is a weakness, so it's sort of reversed here. Okay, so F5. Am I really worried about F4 here? What about just A3? Or bishop E3 immediately? Bishop E3, F4, bishop here. Oh yeah, okay, this looks good. Okay, I gotta just move. Alright, let's play it. So I want bishop B6. So what is he gonna play? He might play rook A6 to try to cover the B6 square. Okay. And I always have F3 or F4 to consider next. And now my rook is ready to develop. Yeah, this looks pretty good. I'm down a pawn, but I feel like I have some compensation here. Yeah, what a great first 15-minute game, right? Yeah, quality chess and, you know, quote unquote, you missed my air quotes there, quality chess, yeah. Still blundering pawns, right? Even when you have an extra 14 minutes on the clock, you still got to give away pawns for absolutely nothing, right? Okay. Alright, so bishop e6 is a really nice idea. I really like that. If rook a6, then a3 appears to trap a knight, right? Rook a6, a3 traps a knight, unless I'm missing something. See, now I'm all paranoid. That's what happens when you blunder a pawn. Really? Okay. Bishop here now? Yeah, I don't know about this. what to do. Knight b6. Okay, bishop b6 is the logical follow-up. I can also just recapture, but bishop b6 and taking on a5 just looks really good, right? He has to play queen d7 or knight c7. Yeah. Okay. This just has to be good, right? Yeah. And then I can take on e4 next move if I choose to. Okay. Alright, and then take here, and then I have knight b6 as a threat. Yep. So knight a6, knight b6. Looks good. There's knight d3, of course, which is what I'm expecting, obviously. But knight d3, bishop takes here. I'm getting another tempo off the knight. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Knight a6. Oh, he's just sacking the exchange. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's just grab it. Still knight d3, bishop takes e4. Okay. Right now he's playing this. Knight c5 is his idea. Okay. Alright, just recapture. Knight c5 is very annoying, actually. Maybe I should grab with the knight, intending to, yeah, let's do that. So knight c5 I'll just take. My pieces are a bit loose, especially this knight on a5, but I don't see any way to take advantage of it. Alright, I have to be very mindful of the clock, too. Okay, wants to exchange pieces. Okay. Alright.
Check.
Just exchange down. Okay. Okay, then go here, hitting the b pawn again, and then wanting to trade queens. I'll enter the recapture as a pre-move. Okay, queen g4. Any threats? I don't see any threats here. So I could just grab here, right? Yeah, I believe so. He's probably going to take...
Black resigns.
Yeah, this is very simple. Yeah, I'm just up in exchange, right? And then, I'm even up a pawn here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm up a pawn and an exchange. It's pretty simple. I mean, he has no threats. It's very hard to break down this, like, fianchetto structure, for sure. Let's go back a little and take a look. Alright, so g3. It's kind of funny. You guys, for those of you, the millions of you who have watched my videos, yeah, I'm totally kidding with that. Millions, by the way. There's going to be that one troll in the comments. You don't have 1 million subscribers, man. Yeah, I know. But for those who do watch my videos, you know I never play, like, d4 or, anything remotely solid in those, like, bullet tournaments, right? But in tournaments, it's like the complete opposite. I, really study the Catalan, and, so yeah, I played g3 here, hoping to get into a Catalan. d6, I'm not really sure about this setup. Of course, there's ideas with, like, getting the bishop out, and then playing d6, and going for, like, an e5 structure. But, d6 immediately. Now this bishop is sort of, yeah, passive. Bishop g2, okay, very normal. Bishop e7. Just getting pieces out. It's very hard for black to deal with this center I have here. It's just controlling a lot of space. d5 I can take. Let's see, the computer eval. Yeah. But e5, you know, d5 appears to be the best move. And we exchange, and I just have a really good space advantage here, right? And then knight c5. Maybe I could have considered rook e1 here. That's very possible. But I like this knight d2 idea. Now bishop g4 is probably not as strong. You can't exchange pieces, because I'll just play f3. If the knight was on f3, I think black would very much like to take on f3 and get rid of some minor pieces, because he's a bit cramped with this pawn. Knight e8. Okay, he's wanting to get counterplay with f5, but that never really materialized. b4 and knight d3, and okay, obviously attacking the b pawn. But yeah, I completely missed that. And played queen e2, but honestly, when black is so behind in development, and look at all these pieces sort of all on the back rank, I really don't think it matters that much. He took on b4. Okay. So now he has a pawn for his troubles. I probably should have played, instead of queen e2, maybe I should just play a3, and then queen e2. I don't know. a3 is met by probably f5. Maybe queen e2 isn't really such a bad move anyway, because, you know, it's sort of keeping the initiative, forcing black to do something with his knight, and now gaining another tempo with the rook, you know. a5 is not a move that you really want to play, weakening, you know, these squares, you know, enormously. Knight c4, it's a pretty typical move. f5 trying to get counterplay, but bishop e3 looks very strong, just hopping right onto these dark squares. I think it's important to note that rook a6 is met by a3, and this knight is trapped. So you'd have to find something else. He took on e4, and I think this very strong Zwischen Zug with bishop b6 is just game over now anyway. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and maybe I'll play some more 15 minutes in the future. Thanks for watching. See you guys around. Bye. All right.